Good day, students. My name is Mr. Young. I am explaining the extended primitives. Left off on ring wave. Next, we'll do prism. So you begin by dragging the overall shape of the prism. You let go, and it allows you to set the length of the left and right side of the prism. And once you click again, it lets you define the height of the prism. It's not only a useful tool, but it could be useful to some. Now, as we see in the parameters, you can adjust just the length of each of the sides independently. So the angle of the prism is dictated by the length of the sides. It's not an angle. It's not an angle parameter. But so if you're a numbers junkie like I am sometimes, that would be a good tool. It allows you to have more control. Now, and any time that it says 6, it means the amount of detail you can put into each side. So it's for the side 1 segments, it only allows you to put segments on one side. Of course, height segments, you can create segments all along the body. Now from there we move on to the torus knot. Again, I've never found any use for this. Perhaps in science it would be useful, but not in general modeling. The first click allows you to find the radius of the overall thing. Once you click once, it asks for the radius of the circle, of the cross section circle. So there are a lot of parameters in this, but like I said, I haven't found a lot of use for this. So you can play around with it if you like, but for the most part, I stay away from it. We showed the chamfer cylinder and the castle in the last video, so this one, the L extension, these are actually kind of useful, the L and C extension. It allows you to make like an L bracket, or well, you'll be able to see the C bracket in a moment, but it just allows you to make that shape without having to. It gives you the nice 45-degree angle corner, which you could do manually, but it's kind of nice that they have a tool that does that for you. Now, there's a series of parameters in this that you can use for tweaking. Of course, when it comes to numbers, I like to be exact. The length just allows you to define obviously the length of the sides, but everything is pretty self-explanatory. Width, height, side and front segments, and width segments and height segments. When it refers to the side, it's actually the right side of the object, and the front is the top of the of the L, and width segments allow you to add detail to the width of your object, and height obviously allows you to add detail along the height of it. It's all pretty self-explanatory stuff. I think if you're doing these videos, you're probably smart enough to figure that out yourself. The C extension is very much like the L extension. With your first click, you define the length and width of the extension, and then when you click, you define the height. And you click again, it allows you to define the width of the actual shape. Now, if you're like me, which I don't know if you are or not, I like modifying things in the numbers rather than visibly by hand, unless it's just a quick thing. That's good. Then I have no problem. But in this, the back length is from the top view is the bottom. Inside, of course, is the right side. And then front, of course, is the top. Each of the widths can be adjusted individually as well. Use this mainly if you have to create walls for an architectural example, or in my case, if you were to make walls for, like, say, an apartment building for a game model. But it's that. And this could be a somewhat short video, which is good because I'm a little behind. Now the house model is an accordion hose, but and if you're like me, I've found no use for it ever. So. But you might be different. There are a number of parameters in this, and it even has elements of animation to it. Write to me if you'd like me to expand on this more, but for the most part, you could just play with it and figure it out yourself, because it could use its own video for that. And I don't find it very useful, so I'm not going to put the trouble into explaining it unless you would like to know more about it.